Hello, EntrePods, and welcome to Season 3. This season, we are interviewing and talking about ethical entrepreneurs who are making money and changing our world. Join us as we discover how we can step into power as creators and business owners to reshape business into one that values humanity, our planet, and our shared future. You won't want to miss a single episode.
The marketing does, and so I'm very pro male. I'm pro human, really. I'm a humanist in many ways. I just want us all to do better, but I can't help but see that there are these patterns where good products and good things go a little bit off the rails, And
one thing that I think that men worry about with this kind of approach is that somehow we're saying either or. That
right.
It has to be men or women. And that's not what we're saying. That actually it's about gender inclusion, so that teams don't have to be either all women or all men, that they should be men and women together. And what we saw in our research for the book is that gender, when there are women and men working together, that actually the economy grows. So the pie grows. It's not that there's just a limited piece for everybody. It's that if you include a more diverse team, that you actually make more for everybody. So it's not that it's either them or us. It's actually, if we do this all together, there's more for everybody.
Yeah. What's crazy is scaling companies remotely for as long as I have, I've ended up with the most diverse teams you could imagine. So we've had our share of, everybody, like every background from disabled to people who were elderly but because it was just so talent driven. When you put the talent acquisition on truly a culture ad, and geography is no longer a limit, and because being geographically limited really does limit your ability to scale and to grow. If you're in a place like, I don't know, well, not now anymore, but I was about to say San Francisco, but really not even now. Everybody's leaving there in droves. So if you're in a place like, let's say Houston, it's very diverse. We have probably one of the most diverse big cities in the country, and you get people pouring in with a wealth, of knowledge and experience. Boy, the world is your oyster if you're a business owner trying to hire in Houston. Very different if you're in rural upstate Bob's Millhound population 7,000, right? You're very limited to just who's there in your one tiny little area. Not anymore, though. So for business owners, no, you can reach out to people everywhere. Now, there's part of it's good and part of it's bad. So we've seen the good part. I found somebody that was literally, in 2 towns away, and they could never commute because they have to pick up their son every day, but she has exactly the experience I want. Or I've been able to find somebody and he lives on a different time zone, but him working early, I'm able to get in and I see work's done, and it just propels my day better, right? And then on the flip side, you see people who are like, oh, this is like a big plantation now, and I'm the slave owner. So I'm going to go to the cheapest places around the planet and exploit people at the lowest possible rates, at the detriment of my community and everyone around me for profit, and at the detriment of my customers. Because if you're in Ireland, you want to talk to an Irish customer service person. You have colloquialisms, you have ways of saying things, you have ways of communicating that an American just is not going to get in the same way. They're just not. I've lived in Ireland. They have entire sentences where I had to go, what? Okay, and it was English, but I sure didn't know what they were saying. So, there's good and bad with that. And if we can push people towards ethical entrepreneurship and the idea of abundance, and it's unlimited from talent and from everything else, it naturally becomes diverse. You no longer... It's not checking a box. Well, let me see what genitals you have, because we can only hire so many of these and so many of that. That is not what this conversation.
I would definitely discourage that
sort of. Yes, that's not what this is about at all. It's just about opening up the door and also trusting more. People have a tendency to want to stay, like with like, And I get it. Tribes, that tribe mentality, these people are less likely to hurt me. So I just want this. This is where I feel safe. This is my comfort zone. A lot of it has to do with something like that. And if we can be more welcoming and say, but if you expand your comfort zone, you're going to make more money and make more customers happy. And it actually is going to work out pretty good.
And if you're trying to target to a population that you actually personally know nothing about, then there's no way that you're going to design products that meet their needs. You have to have the diversity on your team, whether it's for product design or doing the marketing, or to understand by focus groups what your customers want if you expect to make products that are appropriate for them and meet their needs.